I'm going to start off with Fatatoki. So if we put together 1, 2, 3, Mati, Toru, Miwa, Taku, Asu, I. It's indeed because of our connections we will move forward together. Cool. So up on our board over here, our learning intentions for today is we are going to correctly, Matthew, or one of you boys, we are going to correctly use a Plunger coffee machine and how to prepare and present a Plunger coffee. So what we're going to do is we're going to recap on what you already know about coffee. So we'll do the successful criteria again because I want to make sure you follow those criteria. And then we're going to go over some slides, which is going to teach you a little bit about Matthew, which is going to teach you a little bit about the origins of coffee. And then we're going to practice making these Plunger coffees, okay? Okay. What is the successful criteria of coffee, Aaron? Successful criteria of coffee.
It's hot.
Hot.
It's strong.
Nice aroma.
Strong,
It
okay.
actually tastes like a coffee mist.
Actually tastes like a coffee, okay.
Minus a little chocolate.
So why would it not taste like a coffee?
If it's got not enough beans.
Okay, so it's weak. So you think that weak?
Too bitter.
It's black.
Not bitter.
This is.
Oh, so you're talking about the colour.
Yeah.
Black.
So the colour needs to be strong, like
Oh,
colour.
fair. Amber.
It's amber. Okay. What about the smell?
It smells.
Aromatic.
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 Okay, what did I say last week, last lesson? Can you remember what is important to you as a customer?
Presentation.
Presentation. Thank
So
you.
it's warm. Respect.
I'm always right.
So you don't want to have cracks and splits and lipstick on the outside of your coffee. You don't want to have foreign matter, like you don't want to have a toenail in your coffee. But you don't want to have granules. You don't want to have granules in your coffee as well. So no foreign matter. Foreign matter. Clean cups and saucers. Right, and what about being delivered in a timely manner, boys? Going to be delivered in a timely manner, remember? Come on. Within 5 minutes. Whoa. So we're gonna aim for 5 minutes. Okay. Serve promptly. Oh, it's gonna spell properly right. Okay. Guys, so we are going, you boys, I'm going to quickly get you to put your, so this is a Plunger or a press coffee machine, okay? So I'm going to get you to put that together successfully, yep, nice and tight. It's really important to make sure these are all clean. Thank you. Why would it be important to make sure there's no stains?
Because you might get some foreign matter in your
Oh,
coffee.
yes, you could be. So it is important to make sure these are tightened, because if they are, how did you do that?
This isn't too strong.
Is this JD?
Yeah. This isn't too strong. Just don't do.
No. Cool music, by the way. Okay. Okay, it's really important because a lot of times when I was making the coffee, if these were loose, a lot That's why we're practicing. As you get better, you're going to be trying to, like you reckon you can do it in 5 minutes. It only takes about 3 or 4 minutes for the filter machine to go. And you got to, how long do you think you'd have to rest this?
3 minutes.
You have to rest it, yeah, probably 3 minutes might be a little bit longer. It's normally about 2-3 minutes max. Otherwise, what's going to happen if you do? It starts to go cold. Okay, how much coffee do you think we need to put in here?
5.5 tablespoons.
A tablespoon.
2.5? Okay. So when you look at the size of this, how many coffees do you think you're going to get out of this?
I reckon 2 more.
Probably 2.
5.
1.5.
I reckon
5.
2.5.
No, yeah, 2 or 2.5.
I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to trial this out. I reckon it's going to be about 3.
Where's about the maximum recommendation?
What's that?
What's the maximum?
There's no lines on this one.
Okay, so it's just for the top, right?
Yeah, so with this one here, I'd still have the 2 finger spaces.
Okay, so I'd say 5 cups.
5 cups, okay. Now, guys, when you get down to the very bottom, what do you think is going to be a problem? If
It's
you
going to be
try-
way too strong.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you don't get that slimy, drinky sort of at the bottom. Okay, let's try 2.5. 2.5. That's 2. There's a bit of a
That was
half.
so much miss.
That was 2.5. You reckon you did it?
Maybe 2.
Now, can you see how all the coffee, guys, is all blending up? It's all mixing together and it's all murky. So what do you think's happening right now with the coffee?
Just soak in.
It's soaking in.
We need to blend it.
Okay, so you're gonna, guys watching, you're gonna just sit your plunger on the top like that and not push on it just yet. The idea is what's happening is you're right, Charlie. The beans are dry, they've been sitting there for a while, so the hot water in it has started the chemical reaction and it's going to start to release all the flavours. So you don't want to plunge it too fast, otherwise you're going to have, is it going to be an over or an under extracted coffee?
Midway. Under.
Okay? Yeah, so it's going to be under extracted.
Then exploit your roommate.
So while that is, guys, listening, while that is brewing, you're going to get your tray ready. You don't get your tray ready first, because while you're being timed, you also need to get your station ready. So I've only got one prepared here. So you're going to have your cup, your spoon, napkin, your milk, and your sugar, and have it all in uniform. You want to make sure there's no drips, there's no cracks, there's no nothing, no lipstick. Okay? For the actual assessment, you're also going to be getting your filter machine. But we're not practicing that today, we're just doing plunger today.
Is the poking machine low on it?
Yeah. So today we're just learning and practicing plunger. Okay? So I'm ready. So as you can see that it's still a bit cloudy? Yeah. So I'll just wait a little bit longer. Can you tell me, with the filter machine and how it's got a paper filter in it, which one would be the healthier between the two? Any ideas? Do you reckon the filter one? Yeah. Okay. So the filter coffee, because the paper is catching any oils or anything inside, it is a little bit more healthier. And it's so you can sort of have a filter coffee daily, whereas the plunger coffee is still going to have all the oils and stuff in it, and you will actually see the oils when you pour your coffee floating on the top. So this should be more of a every other day sort of coffee, special coffee. Okay, I reckon it's about time I can sit down nice. Why would you not go really fast? Why would you not go too fast?
Because then it would go through.
It'll go through? Yeah, so you don't want to have extra bits of brains coming up, alright? right? And you don't want to have it splashing out over the top. Right, we've got a nice looking coffee. See how you can see a creamer on it? You won't see a creamer on a filter machine because the filter catches it all. Okay? Grab your coffee and make sure you don't make a spill or a mess on your nice organised tray. Leave it a little low tide, maybe a finger space.
A little low tide, yeah.
Little low tide. And one other thing. Cool. Once you've got your 2 coffees, you've got to go and deliver it to your customer and make sure you serve it. Don't just dump the tray. Alright, you see lots of oil.
Serve it to Matthew.
Okay, who wants the coffees? Don't drink the whole thing, remember, you can just sip it. If you want a coffee? No? You want a coffee, Charlie?
I need some caffeine.
I just thought this was a way over. You got enough? So you don't drink the whole thing? You got one? Kevin, you always want another coffee? Sam? Is more coffee here? Okay. So do you have an understanding of what it is you need to do? Okay, guys, what I want you to do, can you look at the coffee? Is it the right colour? Yep. Strong, sweet, not looking like
You can go negative and you can even
Is it the right colour? What right colour you have?
You freak out when you see a black jar.
Okay, how many cups do you reckon you got out of that? Yeah, so you can get another 2 out of that. Okay, Aaron and Matthew, look, we can probably get another 2 cups out of that. Okay, so there's a 4 cup. Alright.
That's like 7 cups.
So guys, we're only going to do this for half an hour. So there's quite a few of the machines here. There's 2 jugs of boiling water. You have to, when you get there, can you please follow and turn it off? After half an hour and we've cleaned up, I'm going to go through the slides of how we're going to present a flyer. Okay? Now you need to look at the causes and problems that you might be coming across. Take note of any incidents that you have. Okay? Do you know of any incidents that you could have with this machine?
Yes. Doing it backwards, doing it backwards.
So you need to figure out why it might be weak, why there might be granules in it, why it's murky, why it could be bitter. Okay? Some common problems. I will put those problems up for you and we'll look at in a minute. Alright, go and get your stations. Please get all your mess and plus together first. Don't just come and grab one thing and then you can be running back to the floors. Right. So Aaron, while you're making a coffee, you're making it for Matthew, okay? Then you go swap.
Yes, what are we doing?
Don't make one. Doesn't matter. You still have to be sitting like this and making
I'll just do one. Let's do it to fill it all the way.
If you want to make half one, you have to have coffee.
Do you do the coffee first?
Really?
Just one.
If you're gonna do that first, the idea is to go really busy fast, but don't actually set yourself up because for your assessment, you're not gonna have a place.
This doesn't make this now. Hey, Charlie.
Go ahead where you start.
Napkins?
Grab your cups, grab your coffee, grab everything and go to your station. Don't be here. Do it. got lots of coffee over there. Got lots of coffee.
How much? A big for moving food.
Can you not sit it up? Yeah. Guys, so just get them together and get them sitting there ready. Okay? Who's everyone grab some?
Oh, miss.
Of course it's not. You put those away when you
Where the silver ones are that time? Okay.
I just done one because I'm only filling it halfway, but you do two.
Yes.
And it's 2.5.
You're experimenting. I just stick to how you stand set to.
No, I'll just do good.
That must be red. Yeah, it looks way too much. I didn't know you like strong coffee. No, $10 for it.
What was that? What was that?
Even out of the
Like, hey, sorry, Kate, is this good enough? Kate, is this good enough? You're really insulting me. You don't need to pull the finger. You don't need to pull the finger. It's like a double shot. Just like double hits, bang, bang. Not. I don't care. I need sugar.
Wasn't even really done. Listen to it. It's orange water.
Okay, you know, just boil the water. Not boil, only just
Let's start.
Yes. So, for your assessment, you won't actually have this working out like this, okay? You'll have, when you write it, are you reading? So when you write it, you're right, you don't want to have it half on half up because it's going to be an angle. You don't want to have things spilling on the edge. So either you want to take it like that. It's just a difference. But as long as they're all in uniform, you have to make sure they're all identical whatever you choose to do, okay?
Well, like, you got something in your face, so we use one napkin. We use one napkin to clean it off. Yeah, some napkin.
Stephen, you've got a bit of, what is it? You've gone over tight.
What do you think?
So you've overfilled it so that it's going to switch.
It's a
What do you make it do? You don't want
Miss, he's pouring the milk, it's like tipping out the bottom, and it's going down the plate.
Take a photo.
Get some cinnamon. Let's use the camera for cinnamon on it.
I don't think we get to.
I think you need to do it today. But I'm, yeah, this is just like
one each. We want to take a photo.
There's a lot of activities. It should be once enough. If you own this business,
What is that?
you're not going to get away.
I'll try it.
That's not the reason. No, normally, if you're a
It'll be sour.
one each. One gently. All in You understand that when you've got 50 people all on one table and you're all serving to 60 people,
That's so good. That's so good. That's good. That's good.
Someone broke the other one. Charged.
It's just like coffee. Try it.
Fellows, gang. Nice.
This tastes like coffee.
Now let's see how it tastes. Tastes real good.
Does it taste good? Does it taste?
Holy shit, this is shooting.
Was nobody, who was out of sleep the other night after we had coffee? Were you out of sleep? You got no sleep at all? You just, no, but we did it in the afternoon, feed period, and that is enough to keep you awake through the night.
No, I just woke up.
So that is.
Hot bread.
Did
you get some of that coke?
We also extract that raw beans. And that's a lot of flavours in there. And that's why this method is not as tough as the One's one, because that cake tastes a little way. Yeah. That's smaller than the full cup.
I reckon they should add more. It's okay. So you've got an extra granule that starts showing on and you've got a bunch of. Okay, how's your coffee, guys? Is it the right time? So you pushed it too Oh, you didn't wait.
Where's the sugar?
Just use this sugar over here so we don't waste our sachets. Okay, so that's good. What we're going to do after this is we're going to actually look at the problems here. Yeah, and it's good that it's okay, so you can't do that. Yeah. So that's another cause, it's because we've got quite a few of them, so this attachment might not go with this machine. So I'll bring it down now. I'm going to use the little one. Okay, so you got to think about the size of how much coffee. So that's you probably get 1 to 2 cups out of Okay, 10 more minutes, guys, and I want to make sure everything's cleaned up as well. So as long as everybody's had a turn to make some coffee, make sure you do your dishes. I have got the dishwasher on if you want to put your stuff through. If you need to clean up your light mess in there. How much coffee do you put in that? Try it. It's sacred blood. Keep drinking that. Sweet. Okay, wait. Oh, the other thing is you make sure that this is going on.
Is it wrong way?
You see your hands. So that's why you want to wait. Because that's settled before you push. How much coffee? To your left. Alright, so let's wait and take it out. Down. Right, can you guys clean out the I don't know why my thing's blinking.
That's all mine. On your phone. Miss, can I pause this? Can I pause this? It's recording.
Music for music.
Can we use it for music?
Okay, everybody, listen up. Aaron, Matthew. For this activity, I'm just introducing you to a look into what you're going to be doing, Charlie. I'm going to be introducing you to what you'll be doing next year, okay, in year 13. When you're making your coffee espresso machines, lattes and flat whites, just giving you a little bit of an insight into the origin of coffee. So for this activity, you're going to stand, okay, and how do I do this so it goes to the next one? Oh yeah. Everyone is going to stand to answer the true or false question. So if you think the answer is true, you put your hands on your head. If you think it's false, you put your hands on your hips. And if you get it wrong, you sit down, okay? And then we'll carry on with the next question. The last person standing, I have got a treat for you, okay? If you want, you can carry on playing while you're seated. You can still play, but yeah. Okay, so can everybody stand? Alright, everyone standing. Sam, put your phones away, please. Matthew, put your phone away.
He's doing a radius. It's 600k lift. 600k lift.
Matthew, put your phone away.
Listen, 600k, 600k.
I don't care. Okay, coffee. Coffee. Shh. Coffee is one of the top beverages in the world, second to water. True or false? Put your hand on your head or your hips.
It's tea.
True.
Charlie, sit down.
Sit down. Okay. In the US alone, more than 450 billion coffees are consumed a day. True or false?
Yep. Oh, no, true. That's true.
It is false. So sit down. If you got it wrong, sit down. Okay, listen up. There's actually 450 million coffees a day consumed in the US, but New Zealand's per capita consumption ranks among the top 20 in the world at 0.94 cups per day, and we're actually ahead of the US because they're only 0.90. We drink more coffee than they do.
So we don't do that.
Well, they've got more people, remember? So when you look at the statistics. Okay, true or false? False. Coffee is included in most military rations.
This is easy.
Oh, look, you just looked at everyone copied.
This is easy.
True. Okay, well done. So, very interesting, the coffee plant fruit is called a coffee cherry. And as you can see by the little picture, it looks like a little cherry. There are only two types of coffee beans. True or false?
I know this.
I would say this more than.
Okay. False. There are many types of beans, but the most common is Arabica and Robusta. So true or false? Arabica is a very smooth tasting bean. I know you don't know this yet, but we're just seeing if we can... What boys are you going to say? True or false? All right? True. Arabica is a very smooth tasting bean with delicate flavours, known for its sweet, fruity and slightly acidic taste.
My new plan's good.
And it has a little bit less caffeine than the Robusta. Okay, the Robusta beans are more expensive than the Arabica. True or false?
Yep. I can go 50-50, go 50-50.
What have you got?
True.
False. Alright, who got it wrong, anyone?
Charlie.
Okay, two left. Alright. It's a competition at Fox Readers, okay. Okay, so Arabica, Matthew, Aaron, Arabica is is more expensive because it is a delicate bean and it's not so robust as the Robusta. It can be susceptible to diseases and weather changes and takes 7 years before you can harvest it. Whereas the Robusta can take about 4, maybe 5 years. The Robusta, what would you normally find? The Robusta is what you would normally find in your local supermarket and convenience stores. True or false?
You just been a lot. This thing again.
Come on, guys.
It's going to be the 2.9.
What is it going to be? Have you done it, Sam? True. Are you telling me all of you sit down?
So they all win. I won.
Right. The Robusta you actually find in your local supermarket and convenience stores due to its high caffeine content and the cheaper costs. True or false? There is a coffee bean bout. True or false, Charlie? Is there a coffee bean bout?
What's that?
True.
True.
There is a coffee bout, but not one that goes around your waist. Okay? And if you have a look at this map, that whole yellow belt is where the coffee beans are grown and produced. And that is, what sort of areas is it?
The warm
The
areas.
warmest. It is. It is the tropical, it is where it's really warm and moist, wet weather. I have a chocolate treat for those that were left standing. Oh, no. More chocolate for me. Okay, so if you have a look at this belt, this is all the areas in that belt, guys. You got Guatemala, you got Brazil,
Somalia.
Zimbabwe, look, there's Yemen and Ethiopia, Indonesia. So isn't it pretty cool? So that is, they produce most of the world's coffee beans. So where did our love for this energy boosting Java juice come from? And how exactly did it spread across the globe? So I've got over here a couple of little stories. This shouldn't take too long. You gotta listen, guys. Hang on, I've got no sound.
Intrigued, Caldi plucked some berries for himself and noticed that coffee is the second most popular beverage in the world, second only to water. In the US alone, more than 450 million coffee is of such importance.
You should show us this video
Stories.
first.
One takes place in Ethiopia and the other takes us to Yemen. Let's go to Africa first. Legend says that around 850 AD in the region of Kaffa, Ethiopia, a young goat herder called Caldi noticed that when his goats ate a small red berry, they became highly active. Intrigued, Caldi plucked some berries for himself and noticed that he too felt energized after eating them. He wanted to share the effects of these magic berries, so he took a few to a nearby monastery, but the head monk, intimidated by their strange influence, rejected them and threw them into a fire. The result was a hypnotizing aroma that captivated the monk. So after the fire was stoked, they picked up the roasted coffee beans that were left among the embers, ground them, and produced the first ever cup of coffee. Now to the other origin story. Legend says that in ancient Yemen there was a man called Sheikh Omar who was famous for his healing powers. For reasons unknown, Omar was banished from his community to a cave in the desert. Hungry and desperate, Omar ate the red berries from a nearby bush, but was taken aback by their bitter flavor. Keen on making the most out of his meager meal, Omar roasted the beans, ground them up, and boiled them with water, producing an energizing liquid that sustained him for days. When his community learned of his magical concoction, he was invited to return. Now, both of these...
So those are some real histories behind how coffee ever came about. So there is one more that is really important I want you guys to watch, because it's actually a true story about if the Pope had turned it down, we never would actually be allowed to have coffee. Yep.
Coffee really really stuck in Europe. The wine and beer people would customarily have for breakfast were slowly replaced by ginger juice. But although coffee has become the West's favorite energy booster, people forget it was once considered the devil's drink. Because of coffee's Islamic origins, it was shunned by Christians in the West. They were suspicious of its effects and considered it a pagan drink. It wasn't until 700 years after its discovery, when the drink began to pick up in popularity, that the issue was brought up to then Pope Clement VIII. Catholic devouts were hoping their leader would denounce the drink immediately, but to their surprise, the Pope took a don't knock it until you try it approach and decided to take a sip before completely banning the so-called devil's drink. His verdict? Coffee was here to stay. But to convince his followers that coffee would not make it easier for a demon to possess them, the Pope actually baptized coffee beans in order to officially pronounce them Satan-free. And since it's been a coffee free-for-all in the West. The first coffee houses in the world.
Okay, so there you go. So that is where the story of the Pope and the goat comes from. Okay, so you weren't allowed to bring anything new into the area unless you went through the Pope first. And because he said it was okay, they were allowed to carry on drinking it. Has anybody heard of any other speciality coffees?
Yeah.
Iced cappuccino with a little bit of whipped cream.
You were saying something about the elephant.
That was
Coffee.
meanness.
What's the elephant coffee?
The elephant eats the coffee, then poops it out, and then,
It's just like,
or is it tea? And
it's
then,
like really expensive
and
like,
yeah.
coffee and
It's not that.
Coffee.
I'm not sure about the elephant, but I'm just found one that's about the. If I can't say it right, Kopi Luwak, and that is there is a cat, a wild cat, which eats the berries because the berries are really bitter and yuck, so that's why we don't eat them. So the cat eats them, they poop it out, and then the people come underneath, get the poop, they dry it, wash it all out of course and dry it, and it is the most expensive coffee beans out.
Oh yes, of course.
And it is
Have to wash
poop.
it.
It is an animal shitting out the seeds of blooming
Wait, what
fruit of
animal is it
a...
again?
Huh?
What animal is it?
Asian
Kopi Luwak coffee is expensive because of a combination of high demand and the limited qualities that the cuvets can produce naturally. Let's have a look. What is a cuvet? It's a type of cat. Here we go.
Hey, looks like a little rat.
Oh, but there's another thing as well, because this animal does eat the beans, they end up farming them. Here they are, look at this.
Is that a raccoon? They should have put
But look, here you go. They've caught them in the wild, they cage them, they make them poop the fruit, the seeds out.
That eat the berries.
Yeah, they eat the berries, yeah. But then they become caged.
No, that's different coffee. That's
Yeah, it's not
that's
very
different.
nice.
They eat the berry and then they poop it and then they make coffee out of
See,
it.
is that the berry there? See the poop? And there's the beans that they've consumed. They've pooped it out. They then wash them,
It's like an expensive
dry it. It's all roasted properly like you'd normally roast. So there's no
Yes,
germs
of
on
course.
it.
Yeah, you'd have to wash it, wouldn't you?
You'd definitely have to wash it, wouldn't you? Yeah, I would think so. Okay, guys, we're going to go back to what this is actually all about. So, what you have to do now, this is all part of your assessment. It's not just something I'm getting you to do for the hell of it. It's actually in your assessment. Okay? So, you need to gain feedback from a customer so you can keep fixing or doing what you're doing that's correct or wrong. You have to take care with presentation, timing, flavour. You've got to note any problems that can occur and state the causes. What would you do to prevent the problems occurring? And please, you're going to have to take photos of each stage. So what would be one stage?
Stage 4.
What would be one stage? If you're taking photos of the stages of you preparing your coffees. Yep, but what did I say the first thing you should do before you start?
Wash your hands.
Mise en place, guys. Okay, so if you've got a customer sitting here waiting for you, I want you to make sure you've got your filter machine plugged in, your plunger machine ready, your coffee over there, your tray, your cups, your saucers, you've got everything. Doesn't have to be set up ready to go though, it just needs to all be at your station. This is an individual thing, I'm going to be watching you do it individually. And then for the second stage, so you can take a photo at your station and easy plus. Your second stage would be what?
Preparing the coffee.
Yeah, so you could have your filter machine running, your plunger machine, and then you could take a photo of it, okay? Third stage would be what? Having a nice set up tray, all looking awesome. Take a photo. The next stage would be delivering it and get somebody to take a photo of you delivering it to your customer, okay? Those are that's about 4 stages that you could do. You need to prepare a step-by-step instruction leaflet on the preparation and presentation of your pressed coffee. So this must include photographs of you at each stage. You must include a troubleshooting guide stating the cause and solutions for the next problems identified on the next slide. Now this, like I said, is actually questions in your assessment that you have to answer. So by doing this little flyer, you're going to be telling somebody how to make a pressed coffee. You're going to have the photos and the stages, and you're going to have the problems that can occur. And then I'm going to attach that flyer to the back of your assessment, and you're not going to have to write the answers in your assessment, okay? Is there any questions about that?
Yeah, no.
So to help you out, I've actually printed off this here, which is creating a flyer on Plunger coffees. So you're going to have a title, you're going to have an introduction as to what the flyer is about, what you need, so that's ingredients and equipment, and then you're going to have a method of precisely, you are going to put your tablespoons of coffee into the plunger, you're going to put the boiling water on, you're going to wait 2 minutes, okay? You need to have a step-by-step numbered order, and then at the bottom of your flyer you're going to have some photos and then your troubleshooting guide. Okay? When would you need this sort of thing? Why would you even need a flyer?
So people can see it.
Is it for a customer? Is it for you?
It's for a customer.
I'll tell you what it's used for. Like if I was training up staff to work in my cafe, I would be able to give them a flyer and it would show how they need to present their coffee, how to make the coffee, and if there's a problem, what was the cause, okay? So it's a guide. Yeah, it's a learning process. So with your flyer, you need to actually make it look attractive, please. It's not just scribbled on a piece of paper. It needs to look attractive. You can do it on paper. I've got coloured paper, and you can fold it and have 3 folds in it if you want. Aaron, you can have the flyer. So you know what I'm talking about when you got it folded in 3. So for your flyer, you can have on the front. You can have it like this in 3. Right, so on the front you can maybe have a picture of a coffee and the name of the coffee. Inside you can have the equipment, the ingredients, the method and the photos, okay? You've got to set it out. You can do it online if you want. I'm sure does anyone know an app that you can use that creates flyers?
Yeah.
What app makes flyers?
Custom flyer app.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody else know of any other apps that you can use that can create a flyer? I think you can find it on your Google Apps. I will have a look for something and I will put one up for you if you want. But you can do a paper copy, I said, if you wanted to, or you can do it online. Right? I've got a whole lot of sources of information on the back there, and I'm going to put this up on your Google Class. So you've got it there, so you can do it at home if you need to, in your own time. Slides Mania, have you seen this app? This app creates amazing, fun slides.
Like Google Slides.
Yeah, you can Google one. I can show it to you if you want. Let's have a look at slides. Go. The bell's going to go 2 minutes, guys. Can you make sure you put your chairs away?
17 pounds.
That's a wheelchair way now.
Here we go, look at those slides up there. See how they're already pre-made?
Check mine over here.
Okay, so next lesson, we're going to practice footer and plunger together, okay? Oh, those look like nice muffins.